What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, it always feels a little bit silly every time we do a video looking past the end of the Multiverse Saga, only because there is still a ton to come from Marvel Cinema in the next 3 years, including 2 huge Avengers films. However, with Deadline confirming that there is a live-action reboot for the X-Men in works at Marvel Studios at the end of last year, and then the very public hiring of a writer for that project this year, it's impossible not to key in on huge news when it breaks, like it did in the last hour. And according to industry insider Daniel RPK, we have huge news about the X-Men team, their future in the MCU, and the inclusion of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, what his future might look like, and I think it might be more extensive than anybody thought. We're breaking down this latest update from Daniel RPK as far as what's going on with the X-Men live-action reboot at Marvel Studios, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. My analytics still tell me that about half of you who watch the channel aren't subscribed, and that's totally cool, but for those of you who've watched over 10 videos, which there's a lot of you, you might as well sub, because that's going to enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway right around the corner with Agatha all along. All you got to do is be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this literally broke late this evening, coming from industry insider Daniel Rickman. You guys can follow him over on Twitter at RPK News. And as far as it goes to updates coming from him, we give them a lot more reverence than, say, some of the Twitter scoopsters or anonymous sources online like 4chan and Reddit. He even has huge Hollywood trades like the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline re-reporting off of him. This was the latest he had to say about the X-Men reboot and Hugh Jackman's future in the MCU. Quote, "I hear the current treatment for the MCU X-Men reboot does not include Wolverine at all. The rest of the team is similar to the team from X-Men 97's cartoon, plus some. But no Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman is sticking around for now, likely even post-Secret Wars." Now, this is in line with the previous reports that we've had that they would look to mimic the cartoon's success by introducing the team in all at once, and we talked about that through the context of them not wanting to do the normal origin story. Plus, there's going to be such a high expectation for the X-Men movie that they need to hit the ground running. We all know basically their origins. They'll have time to tell those stories and during future X-Men films and flashbacks, but X-Men 97 did such a good job of picking up with the fan base and delivering on the type of storyline that's in depth. You need the characters already caught up and basically assembled. And 2 of the characters that we've heard that they may focus on for live action would be Jubilee and Gambit. Now, I do not suspect, even if Channing Tatum is back as Gambit for Secret Wars, that he would be the MCU's Gambit going forward, but in that same light, because we know Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is going forward, and because he just went through a myriad of the versions of Wolverine and basically declared Hugh Jackman's the best. If Deadpool's sticking around, it would make sense for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to stick around as well. And we know Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is sticking around. There was never any question about that. There were previous reports that some of the X-Men we would see and hear at the end of the Multiverse Saga, some of those original Fox X-Men characters would retain their roles going forward, but I don't suspect this to be commonplace. Hugh Jackman is definitely an exception for an actor and as the character, and with the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, and real recently, yeah, he could easily play the role for the next 4, 5, 10 years, and it wouldn't be too much sweat off his back to get through the next saga if it's what he wants to do, and apparently, it's what he wants to do. Yeah, he's old, but the joke that Disney was going to make him do this till he was 90 was only tongue-in-cheek because Disney isn't making him do anything. He's the one who wanted to come back, and I'm sure Disney and Marvel are happy to have him. Plus, we all know that things would have and could have gone very differently, especially from here on out if Deadpool and Wolverine didn't make the impact that it did, but it lived up to the hype and made a ton of money at the box office. There is not an exec in the world or an actor like Hugh Jackman who goes, you know, we just made $1 billion almost globally, but you know, let's not do this again. This is real recent, really a renaissance for his character, and not surprising to me at all that they'd leave him out of the first movie and then introduce and unite him with the team at some point during the Multiverse Saga, and he'll basically just be our Wolverine through Secret Wars and then through whatever the next end of the Mutant Saga ends up being, and then maybe recast for the MCU. But this all sort of begs the question as to how the MCU is going to realign the landscape, because look, they're going to do the Fantastic Four in a separate timeline, and even if they don't bring them over to the 616 and during that film, with the nature of how Battleworld may go down, they're going to have to reform the MCU, reform the multiverse at the end of the Multiverse Saga, whenever we hope fingers crossed, the Avengers are triumphant. There were a ton of characters that we're going to hold over. While it may be a dead end for characters like Chris Hemsworth Thor, or say Benedict Cumberbatch Doctor Strange, we have plenty of time to talk about theory videos as to how and why some of those characters may die. There are people being introduced brand new and in just the next 12 months, say like the Fantastic Four, that simply weren't going to have one film and then not be those characters going on. So they're going to have to find a way to sort of take whatever characters that they've had and that they're going to keep them in line with what's going on with the 616, but then introduce where mutants have been in seemingly an MCU that has just started to hint at that. Miss Marvel, Namor, we've had the introduction of them, but you would think if there was Professor X and the rest of the X-Men team, and they're already a team as they're going to write it in the story, that it would be common knowledge in the MCU. Maybe it's a recent occurrence, the characters have been there and they've all just gotten together as a team real recently, but still, the reforming of the multiverse after Avengers Secret Wars is going to give an opportunity to bring teams from across the multiverse all into one same timeline in the 616, and so I've always sort of assumed that X-Men reboot team that we will get will have already been a team and from some other timeline, the same way that the Fantastic Four are, just in our new timeline after that. They will have had a past history somewhere else, but that will explain why they all know each other, why they're already a team, and we haven't had any real knowledge of them in the MCU. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. As always, I am all ears how you feel about this iteration of the team, which characters you feel like they need to involve, and are you excited and cool with them keeping Hugh Jackman as the future Wolverine for at least say the next 5 to 8, 10 years and through the next saga? I'm all ears as always in the comments. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel. We're just going to continue to do that until the PlayStation 5 Pro or the 6 comes out. At this point, who knows which comes first. In the meantime, if you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the sub button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced at the end of videos, live in the same segment we're doing here, with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen. So please be safe and vigilant on my channel, really any channel across YouTube. Please try to remember that anybody can take a content creator's photo, claim to be that content creator, and then ask you to contact them on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp. It's all just a ruse to get your information and hopefully get you to pay for shipping for a prize that doesn't exist. Keep in mind, no content creator will ever charge you for shipping if you should win a prize for them. They will always include that in the prize. You're not going to win something and then have to pay for it. If you should get a comment like that on my channel or really anywhere on YouTube, the best thing to do is just report the comment to YouTube directly, because I promise the content creator already knows this is happening. They're trying to combat it as fast as possible, and YouTube has gotten really good about deleting those accounts and comments, and you're doing everybody on the platform a service because it will delete every comment they've left across YouTube. So please just report it. I really appreciate your guys' help in that matter. They've left us alone for a while, but they've still been targeting one of my friends' channels. I just want to make sure that that reminder is out there. My name's Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at Empires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.